Okay, peeps, we're back. Now we're going to be playing as Super Mario characters on Hunger Games Simulator. You ready? Let's begin.
As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Goomba runs away from the cornucopia. Bowser overpowers Kamek, killing him. Waluigi snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Donkey Kong runs away from the cornucopia. Birdo strangles Piranha Plant with a rope. Bowser Jr. takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Dr. Mario takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Iggy Koopa runs away from the cornucopia. Yoshi runs away from the cornucopia. Toad takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Cheep Cheep runs away from the cornucopia. Koopa runs away from the cornucopia. Toadette runs away from the cornucopia. Chain Chomp finds a bag full of explosives. Luigi finds a canteen full of water. Wario, Rosalina, and Peach work together to get as many supplies as possible. Daisy grabs a jar of fishing bait while Mario gets fishing gear. Mario and Diddy Kong fight for a bag. Diddy Kong gives up and retreats. Yoshi searches for a water source. Bowser receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Birdo makes a wooden spear. Cheep Cheep scares Toadette off. Iggy Koopa tends to Toad's wounds. Rosalina receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Diddy Kong runs away from Goomba. Chain Chomp receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Waluigi receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Bowser Jr. questions his sanity. Koopa chases Mario. Daisy receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Peach poisons Mario's drink, but mistakes it for her own and dies. Donkey Kong receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Dr. Mario collects fruit from a tree. Wario discovers a cave. Luigi receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Daisy cries herself to sleep. Waluigi receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Toadette, Koopa, and Dr. Mario discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Mario and Diddy Kong talk about the tributes still alive. Goomba, Bowser Jr., and Mario discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Luigi is awoken by nightmares. Rosalina quietly hums. Donkey Kong receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Iggy Koopa sees a fire, but stays hidden. Wario starts a fire. Yoshi loses sight of where he is. Cheep Cheep sees a fire, but stays hidden. Toad, Bowser, Chain Chomp, and Birdo sleep in shifts. Toadette throws a knife into Wario's head. Dr. Mario travels to higher ground. Toad, Bowser Jr., Yoshi, and Luigi track down and kill Cheep Cheep. Chain Chomp travels to higher ground. Mario constructs a shack. Bowser searches for firewood. Daisy overhears Donkey Kong and Goomba talking in the distance. Rosalina tries to spear fish with a trident. Mario constructs a shack. Diddy Kong tries to spear fish with a trident. Iggy Koopa practices his archery. Birdo attempts to climb a tree, but falls on Koopa, killing them both. Waluigi discovers a river. Blog. Reddit.
There we go.
Toadette tends to Bowser's wounds. Iggy Koopa stays awake all night. Luigi receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong tell stories about themselves to each other. Dr. Mario climbs a tree to rest. Rosalina tends to Chain Chomp's wounds. Daisy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Yoshi receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Mario, Goomba, Toad, Waluigi, and Mario sleep in shifts. Bowser Jr. sets up camp for the night. Rosalina overhears Toad and Yoshi talking in the distance. Donkey Kong injures himself. Bowser Jr., Luigi, Diddy Kong, and Iggy Koopa hunt for other tributes. Goomba discovers a cave. Mario travels to higher ground. Daisy runs away from Toadette. Waluigi explores the arena. Bowser receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Dr. Mario questions his sanity. Chain Chomp chases Mario. Mario receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Toadette tends to Dr. Mario's wounds. Chain Chomp receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Mario shoots an arrow at Waluigi, but misses and kills Luigi instead. Rosalina lets Iggy Koopa into her shelter. Bowser quietly hums. Donkey Kong, Bowser Jr., Goomba, and Yoshi tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Daisy is awoken by nightmares. Diddy Kong begs for Toad to kill him. He refuses, keeping Diddy Kong alive. Donkey Kong goes hunting. Toad fishes. B. Mario, Waluigi, Bowser Jr., and Iggy Koopa raid Mario's camp while he is hunting. Bowser scares Chain Chomp off. Diddy Kong, Rosalina, Toadette, Daisy, and Dr. Mario hunt for other tributes. Goomba poisons Yoshi's drink. He drinks it and dies.
Uh-oh.
Toadette, Waluigi, B. Mario, and Iggy Koopa tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Rosalina tends to her wounds. Bowser fends Bowser Jr., Mario, and Donkey Kong away from his fire. Diddy Kong thinks about winning. Daisy tries to sing herself to sleep. Toad sets up camp for the night. Chain Chomp and Dr. Mario sleep in shifts. Goomba sees a fire, but stays hidden. Iggy Koopa injures himself. Donkey Kong receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Daisy and Chain Chomp fight Goomba and Toad. Daisy and Chain Chomp survive. Rosalina explores the arena. Mario questions his sanity. Bowser Jr. collects fruit from a tree. Toadette discovers a cave. Diddy Kong and B. Mario work together for the day. Dr. Mario explores the arena. Waluigi thinks about home. Bowser searches for a water source. Bowser attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Rosalina fends Chain Chomp, Dr. Mario, and B. Mario away from her fire. Iggy Koopa goes to sleep. Donkey Kong is awoken by nightmares. Daisy, Toadette, Bowser Jr., and Diddy Kong sleep in shifts. Waluigi climbs a tree to rest. Mario receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Donkey Kong sets Daisy on fire with a Molotov. Diddy Kong discovers a cave. Bowser begs for Waluigi to kill him. He reluctantly obliges, killing Bowser. Bowser Jr. receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Iggy Koopa camouflages himself in the bushes. Rosalina tends to be Mario's wounds. Mario thinks about home. Dr. Mario and Toadette work together for the day. Chain Chomp cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. The remaining tributes begin to hallucinate. Mario survives. Iggy Koopa hugs a Tracker Jacker nest, believing it to be a pillow. Rosalina hugs a Tracker Jacker nest, believing it to be a pillow. Bowser Jr. survives. Donkey Kong eats a scorpion, thinking it is a delicate dessert. Waluigi drowns Diddy Kong, who he thought was a shark trying to eat him. Dr. Mario drowns B. Mario, who he thought was a shark trying to eat him. Toadette hugs a Tracker Jacker nest, believing it to be a pillow.
Wow.
Mario dies from an infection. Waluigi looks at the night sky. Dr. Mario throws a knife into Bowser Jr.'s head. Waluigi sets Dr. Mario on fire with a Molotov. The winner is Waluigi from District 7.
Waluigi wins. Whew. That was a good game. This is how everyone did. Alright. See you for the next gameplay, everyone.